And then we are recording, so that's good. All right, so we are going to go ahead and start. And again, just as a reminder, we'll need 2 blocks, a blanket, and a strap. But we're going to start standing, and you're going to go ahead and grab your strap. And so just to do a little bit of setup, we'll bring both of our blocks to the upper outer corners of our space. And then you can go ahead and take your blanket and just move that off to the side for a moment. And then go ahead and take your strap and unroll it all the way. And then once you have your strap unwound, just for noise sake, if you have a buckle, bring that into one of your hands and then extend out through the rest of the strap. And you want it wider than your shoulders. If your shoulders typically are very tight, probably go about at least 3 feet. And you can face either direction. It just depends upon your space. But we're going to go ahead and start by rooting down through the feet, lifting up through the crown, and then you're going to reach your strap up and overhead, and you're just going to bring it back behind you a little bit. Pull wide on the strap until you feel some stretch happening in your armpits, maybe your forearms. And you'll just take a few breath cycles there, really lengthening the tailbone down. Notice if your head is creeping forward and see if you can draw it back. And you'll just take 1 or 2 more breath cycles here. Softening the ribs in the front. On your next in-breath, go ahead and bring the strap up and overhead, and then we'll bring it back down in front of us. And then we're just going to do about 5 little shoulder flosses. So you'll inhale, reach the strap up and over your head. As you exhale, you'll draw the strap down close to your bum, maybe touching your bum. And you'll inhale and come back up, reversing that. And then exhaling, coming forward. So that counts as 1 round. And you'll do 4 more on your own. And you want to pay attention to whether or not you let one shoulder win in the race to go forward and back, or if you can move both shoulders at the same time. And you're just taking your time, a slight bend in your knees in case if you hyperextend. For these next 2 to 3 sets, if you want to, you can walk your hands a little bit closer towards each other. It'll just intensify the sensation that you're experiencing. But if you're happy as a clam where you're at, you stay right there. And you're just making sure you're breathing as you're doing this. And I think I'm moving a lot slower than the rest of you. So this is my 4th set. Okay. So the next time you inhale and reach your arms up and overhead, we're going to pause there for a moment. Draw the hands slightly back behind you. And I want you to take that Titanic chest stretch again. So heart is open, arms pull wide, head is stacked on top of spine. And then you'll go ahead and inhale, bring the strap back up, lower it down and put it off to the right or to the left. And then just take a moment to notice how you feel standing here now. Good morning, Robin. Fantastic. And then let's bring ourselves to the top of our space. Again, make sure the blocks are at the upper outer corners of your mat. Yeah. And I want you to take a moment to pause and to breathe here. Let the arms just hang outside of you. Go ahead and separate your knees outer hip distance apart. Notice how that feels. And then some of you will widen your feet even further than that. Start to bend your knees and plant your hands on the belly of your thighs. And then you're going to exhale and round through the spine. Look at your belly button. Notice what that feels like to round through the spine. On your next in-breath, you'll arch the spine, finding a standing cow pose. And then exhale, round through the spine, finding a standing cat pose. Fantastic. And you'll just take 4 more of those on your own, rounding through the spine, arching through the spine, noticing if you're breathing. So every time you come to your cow, you take a breath in. And every time you go to your cat, you take a breath out. And if it feels hard for you to find space in your back, notice what happens if you widen your feet. So if your feet are at least outer hip distance apart, it for some reason makes it easier to round through your spine. You're good, Sandy. And then the next time you get to your little cat shape, just stay there and take a breath cycle or two. Really press the upper back and away from you. Really bend into your knees. And then the next time you inhale, you'll come into your cow shape and really just take a moment to arch the spine, maybe drop an ear to one shoulder or then the other. Just notice what that feels like. Fantastic. Go ahead and come to a still neutral spot. Inhale, come back up to stand. And then as you exhale, step your feet so they're hip distance apart. Pause here. We're going to start to find breath to movement. So really root down from your pelvis through your legs through your feet. Stack your shoulders over your hips, your ears over your shoulders. And then as you're ready, you're going to inhale, circle sweep your arms out and up and overhead. And then exhale, allow the arms to softly float back down towards your hips. And you're going to take that 3 more times on your own. And you want to make it so the movement and the breath are equally matched. And so that the movement and the breath are equally slow. So you're just moving, finding your breath. And we're just taking a total of 4 of these, inhaling the arms out and up and overhead. And exhale, allowing the arms to softly come back down. The next time you inhale and sweep your arms up and overhead, let's go ahead and pause there. As you exhale, grab your left wrist with your right hand. Take an in-breath and lengthen up a little bit more, and then exhale, little happy side bend towards your right. Inhale, come back up through center, and exhale, go back to the right. And you'll do that 3 more times, just using the inhale to come out of the shape, the exhale to go into your crescent moon. And you're just, or Indalsana, whatever you want to call it, and you're just pausing and you're breathing. And then on your next one, you will stay in the Indalsana crescent moon shape and just take 1 or 2 breath cycles there, really rooting down through your left foot, noticing any tension around your face or shoulders, and see if you can let that go, and taking a long, long side body breath. Next inhalation, go ahead and come up to center. As you exhale, open the arms and allow them to come back down alongside the hips. Just take a moment to notice what you notice between the sides. And then as we're ready, we'll try the other side. So inhale, circle, sweep arms up and overhead. As you exhale, grab your right wrist. Inhale, lift up through the right hand, and then exhale, little side bend towards the left. Inhale, coming out of it. And exhale, deepening the side bend. And so you've got 3 more on your own. Just noticing what it feels like to come in and out of the shape, allowing the body to gently open with the repetitions, allowing the body to gently heat with the repetitions. And then on your next little side bend, you'll go ahead and stay there. Notice if you can reach more energy down through your right leg, out through your right fingers. Soften the rib cage back and let go of any tension on your shoulders, your neck, and your face. Next inhalation, you'll come back up through center. And then as you exhale, lower both arms alongside your hips. Fantastic. Let's move on. Inhale, circle, sweep arms out and up and overhead. As you exhale, start to hinge forward at your hips, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, hands either on blocks, shin, or floor, halfway lift. And then exhale, soften the chin towards the chest, the belly towards the thighs, fold in. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms out and up and overhead, back to Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, hands back to heart center, Samasthiti. Fantastic. You'll do that 2 more times on your own. So inhale, circle, sweep the arms. Reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward at your hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. Fantastic. Inhale, halfway lift Ardha Uttanasana, hands on blocks, shins or floor. And then exhale, fold all the way in, Uttanasana. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up and overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Fantastic. Last time on your own. And you're just following your breath, inhaling to circle, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinging forward at the hips, keeping the spine as long as it can be the entire time. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, folding all the way in. Fantastic. Inhale, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. Okay, adding on. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up and overhead, noticing how long your breath has become, seeing if we can stay with this. Exhale, fold forward at the hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. Fantastic. Inhale, halfway lift here. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, step your right foot long and back, step your left foot long and back, plank pose. And we're going to stay here for 3 breath cycles. Press the floor away, lift up through your armpits, your inner thighs, draw your tailbone back. And then at the end of your next exhalation, you'll inhale, shift your weight forward, and exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Fantastic. When you find yourself on your abdomen, extend through the tops of the feet, pull the hands back, inhale, come through your baby cobra, and then exhale, soften down. And you've got 4 more of those. And so you're just going to follow this, following your breath, inhaling into your cobra, whatever height, and then exhaling, softening down. And I encourage you, just pay attention to how the body is breathing. Be mindful of the relationship between your chin and your chest. Yep. And then just notice, notice how this feels to just allow the body to come in and out of this shape. Fantastic. The next time you lower down, go ahead and stay there. Start to draw the low belly in, press down through your knees, push down through your hands, come up through a modified plank. And then when you find yourself on hands and knees, shift your weight back just a bit and take 4 cats and cows. And again, you're just paying attention. What does this feel like? Inhaling, arching the back, and exhaling, rounding the spine. And you might notice that in this shape, you have more capacity to round through your spine than you did when we were in that standing cat and cow. And just observe and notice what you notice. How is the body? How is the breath? Fantastic. After you've taken a total of 4 cats and cows, you'll inhale and then you'll exhale back to downward facing dog. And in your down dog, just take a moment to pause, take a moment to breathe, slowly pedal through your feet, and just notice what this feels like to be here in this shape. Notice what this feels like to be in your body right here, right now. Fantastic. All right. Take another breath, come to stillness, and then inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees and step or float to the top of your space. Fantastic. When you get to the top of your mat, make sure your feet are hip distance apart. And then from here, you'll inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold all the way in, Uttanasana. From here, inhale, bend your knees, sit your butt low and reach your arms forward for Utkatasana, chair pose. And you'll just take 2 breath cycles here. Arms are reaching forward, happy little zombie-like arms. And you'll just take a moment to pause. And you'll take a moment to breathe and see if you can sit your bum a little lower. On your next in-breath, you'll reach up through the arms. You'll straighten through the legs, and you might even look up to the sky. And then you'll exhale and allow the arms to softly float back down alongside your hips. Fantastic. Adding on. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up and overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward at your hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms. This time, step your left leg long and back. Step your right leg long and back. Plank pose. 3 breath cycles here. Again, you're lengthening through the crown and the tail. You're drawing the low belly in and pressing the floor away for dear life. Light engagement on the glutes. And on your next inhale, shift your weight forward. As you exhale, lower through Chaturanga Dandasana all the way to your belly. And then inhale, come into Cobra, your choice, your height. Fantastic. Exhale, lower all the way back down. Inhale, tuck the toes under. As you exhale, push through the hands, the knees, and the toes and come up through that modified plank. As you exhale, straighten the legs and come back into plank. Take a breath in here, and then exhale back to your downward facing dog. Take 3 breath cycles here and really just notice now if you can find more length through your spine, if you can continue to deepen that breath, and then just notice what it feels like to be in this body in this moment in time. Fantastic. On your next inhale, see if you can lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, step your left foot forward between your hands. Yep, changing things up. From here, you might want to put your hand on your blocks, but that's totally up to you. Lengthen through the spine. And then on your next exhalation, you're going to bring your left hand to the outside edge of your left hip or thigh. Reach your heart and sternum forward, and then exhale, start to pull the belly away from the left thigh, rotate the right armpit towards the inner left knee, and then rotate the rib cage to stack on top. Fantastic. From here, you might stay here, pressing your left hand into left thigh into left hand. You might reach your left arm up towards the sky for a twist. You might have you even turn your left palm to face forward and reach it alongside your ears for a long stretch from your left hand across the body to the back of your right heel. Fantastic. Take a big breath in there. On your next exhalation, twist a little more. And then as you inhale, unwind the spine, bring both hands to the blocks, spin your right foot to the floor and cartwheel up for warrior 2. Fantastic. Now, when you're in your warrior 2, take a moment to check in on that front knee. Make sure you're still bending through the front knee and it's centered over the center of your front, or rather middle 2 toes, second and third toe. Reach back through your back hand and reach forward through your front hand evenly. Fantastic. Go ahead and turn your front palm to face the sky and inhale. You'll reverse your warrior, but keep the bend in your front knee. Keep pressing down the knife edge of that right foot and just find a little breath. Find a little space. Nice job. On your next inhalation, return back to warrior 2. And then as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the floor, bringing hands back down to the floor or blocks, your choice, pivoting to the ball of your back foot. From here, start to shift your weight forward and step your back foot to meet your front foot. Back foot to meet your front foot. Fantastic. All right, from here, you might slide a block in between your shin bones. It's totally up to you. Fantastic. And then we'll go ahead and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way in. And then inhale, bend your knees, sit your pelvis, float into Uttanasana, zombie arms forward. Fantastic. Now take a big breath in here. And then on your next exhale, you're going to swim your left arm back, but keep reaching forward through your right arm and take a little twist towards the left. Now keep pulling your low belly in on the left as you reach back through your left hand, reach forward through your right hand, bend evenly through your knees. Fantastic. Next inhalation, swim that left arm forward to meet the right. And then as you exhale, we'll go the other side. So the right arm reaches back, the left arm reaches forward. You pull the belly away on the right side and start to look towards the right. And you've got 2 breath cycles here, bending through the knees, hugging that block and lifting through the spine. On your next in-breath, the right arm swings forward, both arms reach up and overhead, touch your butt a little bit low, and happy days when Utkatasana. Next in-breath, stand up, reach up, maybe look up, and then exhale, hands lower down alongside your hips. Take a moment to pause and take a moment to breathe. Fantastic. We're gonna go on. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward at your hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, go ahead and remove your block. Plant your hands on your blocks, bend your knees, and this time step your left foot long and back. You might need to step your right foot forward just a smidge, just so you're in your long, low lunge. Keep your right hand as it is. Left hand as it is. Draw your right hand to the outside edge of your right thigh. Inhale, heart and sternum reaches forward, and then start to peel your belly away from the right inner thigh so your left armpit draws towards your right inner knee. You might stay there happy as a clam. You might reach your right arm up towards the sky to rotate. You might turn your right palm to face forward, then reach your right arm alongside your right ear, and then find a lot of strength and length from the right hand through the back of the body to that left heel. Take one more breath cycle here, and then exhale, twist a little bit more. Next, inhale, unwind the spine, planting both hands back onto the blocks. As you exhale, spin your back foot, left foot to the floor, and then inhale, come up for Virabhadasana 2. Warrior 2, fantastic. Now, as you're in Warrior 2, check in with your front knee, make sure it's aligned over the center of your second or toe. Continue to bend out into that knee, 90-degree angle, and really root down through your left foot. Fantastic. Go ahead and flip your front palm, and then inhale, reverse Warrior Victory to Virabhadasana. And you just have a couple breath cycles here, noticing what it feels like to find length on your side body, strength through your legs. Fantastic. Next, in breath, return to Warrior 2. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands back down to the blocks, pivot to the ball of your back foot. Shift your weight forward to step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Fantastic. Same as before, you might slide a block in between your inner shins or thighs. You might not, it's totally up to you. And then you'll inhale and halfway lift. And then exhale, fold all the way in. Inhale, bend your knees, sit your butt low, sit for Utkatasana, chair pose, arms forward in zombie-like fashion. Fantastic. And Stephen, sit a little lower this time. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, your right arm starts to track back and you rotate towards the right. Reach forward through the left. Take an inhalation here to lengthen the spine, and then exhale to rotate more towards the right. Next in breath, come back through center, both arms reach forward. And then exhale, the left arm starts to track back, the right arm reaches forward. You rotate to the left. Draw the low belly in, reach out through both arms and keep the collarbones open. Nice work. Next, inhale, both arms come forward. Sit your pelvis low, reach arms up and over your head, Utkatasana proper. And then on your next in-breath, you'll inhale, stand up, reach up, maybe look up. And then exhale, lower the hands alongside your hips. Take a moment to pause, take a moment to breathe. That's a lot. And just notice what you notice. And then let's move on. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up and overhead, Virabhadasana. Exhale, fold forward at your hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. From here, inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then as you exhale, go ahead and remove that block, bend your knees, plant your palms, and step yourself back to plank pose. Take 3 breath cycles there in plank. Just notice what it feels like to really find length and strength through your body. As you're ready, you'll inhale, shift your weight forward, and exhale, lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into a cobra or up dog. And then you'll exhale and make your way back to your downward facing dog. And you just notice what you notice. How's the body? How's the breath? How are you? Fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Fantastic. Bring your hands back to your blocks. Both hands to blocks, yeah. And then let's go ahead and bring our right block to the inside edge of our right foot. Right, spin your left foot all the way down to the floor. Now from here, that right hand can stay on the block. You might bring the right forearm to the top of the right thigh, but we're gonna find ourselves in extended side angle. So you notice what has to work for you. You're gonna push down into both feet, draw that outer right hip back, and root down through your left foot. And then from here, extend your left arm alongside your ears, palm faces down to the floor. And you'll just take a few breath cycles here, really breathing into the body, breathing into the legs, breathing especially into the left side. Nice job. Fantastic. From here, we're going to go ahead and bring our left hand back down to the floor. I encourage you to keep your hands on both blocks and to turn both blocks to the highest setting, but you do whatever the heck is going to work for you. From here, you're going to start to walk your blocks slightly to the left, so they're going to go more towards your back foot. Start to straighten your front foot. So that's your right leg. Your right leg is going to straighten a lot. Fantastic. Once your right leg is straight, we're going to start to walk the blocks to frame the right foot. Walk them back over to the right to frame the front foot. Fantastic. Now push down into your right big toe mound from your right hip. Draw your outer right hip back, straighten your right leg long. Start to push down into your right hand, rotate your right ribs on top of your left, and you'll start to find, right ribs under your left, and you'll start to find yourself into triangle pose. So then you'll reach up through your top arm, your left arm. You'll find yourself really rooting down through your back leg, your left leg, as you reach up through your left arm. And then some of you will turn your left palm to face forward and extend your left arm alongside your ears to find that nice stretch along the side body as you're in Upipati Konasana. Fantastic. And then on your next in-breath, you'll turn your gaze down towards the floor. As you exhale, bend your front knee, plant your palms on your blocks, and then step your your back foot forward to meet your front foot. So come back to Uttanasana, forward fold. Fantastic. Now from here, let's take a moment to pause. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold in. Now without the block, inhale, bend your knees, sit your butt low, Utkatasana, chair pose. Now this one's a prep for something later. So now sitting in our chair pose, we're going to notice that we can push down into our feet. And so we're going to lift our left leg up and come up to one-legged Tadasana, reaching up through the arms. Up through the arms, pulling the left knee up towards the chest. Fantastic. And then you're going to bend into your right knee, plant the left foot down, and then straighten up through both arms, both legs. Fantastic. We'll go ahead and lower the arms. Take a moment to notice if you didn't breathe for any of that. And hopefully you did, because we have to do the other side. Fantastic. So let's work to the other side. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward at your hips. Uttanasana, forward fold. From here, inhale, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, you're going to bend your knees. Step your right foot long and back. The right foot goes long and back. Bring both hands to both blocks if they're not there already. Bring your left block to the inside edge of your left foot. Spin your right foot down. Maybe left hand stays on block. Maybe left forearm goes to top of left thigh, but you'll find yourself in extended side angle here. From there, you might reach that right arm forward, arm alongside the ear, palm faces down. And you just got a few breath cycles here in your extended side angle, making sure you're drawing that outer left hip back, engaging through the inner right thigh and pressing your right pinky toe down into the floor. Fantastic. One more breath cycle here. Rib cage, right rib cage stacks on top of left. There we go. As you're ready, go ahead and lower that right hand to the floor. Bring both hands to blocks. I encourage you to turn the blocks to their highest setting. From here, we're going to start to walk our blocks over towards the right. Go ahead and straighten your front leg, your right leg long. Now from there, you're going to start to walk the blocks back to frame your front foot. Now this is the left foot. Now press down from your left sit bone down to your left big toe. Push down into your left hand. Start to wrap your left ribs under your right ribs on top and rotate your rib cage to the right. You might then extend your right arm, your top arm up towards the sky. You might stay there. You might turn your right palm, your top arm to face forward, and then reach the right arm alongside your ears for a crazy long side body stretch all along the right side. And you're just pausing and you're breathing and you're checking with your head. Is your left ear dipping, left ear dipping towards the floor? There we go. Or can you find more length? Nice job. All right. As we're ready, we're going to gently come out of this. So inhale, gaze comes to the floor, hands come to the blocks. Go ahead and bend the front knee, shift the weight, and then go ahead and step your back leg to meet your front leg, meeting yourself forward in that forward fold. Fantastic. From here, inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold all the way in. Inhale, bend your knees, sit your butt, sit low, Utkatasana, zombie arms. And then you'll set your butt a little lower, reach your arms alongside your ears, start to shift the weight into your left leg and start to lift your right knee up, coming into a one-legged Tadasana. Wobbling is okay. Then you'll start to bend your left knee, step your right foot down to meet it, sitting for your chair. And then inhale, stand up, lift up, maybe look up. And then exhale, lower hands alongside your hips. All right, we're going to see if we can add all those things together in a weird way. So moving on, inhale, circle, sweep your arms up and overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward at your hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. From there, inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, step yourself back to plank pose. Stay for 3 breaths in plank. And just notice what it feels like to be here. Robin, widen your arms just a little bit. There you go. And then on your next in-breath, shift your weight forward. And as you exhale, lower through Chaturanga, inhale into your up dog or cobra, and then exhale back to downward facing dog. That's good, Jenny. Fantastic. And then once you make your way back to downward facing dog, just 3 breaths. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do may sound wonky, so just listen very closely. You're going to inhale and lift your heels. As you exhale, you'll bend your knees, you'll empty your belly, and you'll hop forward on your right foot. Just onto your right foot. Just onto your right foot. Fantastic. Rooting through the right foot, root down through the right hand. Start to kick back through the left leg. Open and stack the left hip on top of the right. Start to spin the rib cage towards the left and open for a half moon. Lift up through that inner left thigh even more. Kick back through your back foot, Sandy. There we go. Fantastic. Now, as you're ready, you might lift that left arm up towards the sky. You might not. It's totally up to you. Fantastic. On your next in-breath, turn the gaze back down to the floor. Maybe both hands come to both blocks. Square your hips to the floor. Now reach back through your back leg. Reach forward through your crown. Very gently, you're going to come up to one-legged Tadasana. So that left leg is going to come forward. Your both arms are going to reach up and overhead, and that left leg is probably going to be bent as you find this. Fantastic. Wobbles are okay. Wobbles are fantastic. Good job. Flex through that left foot. On your next exhale, hands come to heart center. Start to kick your left foot back behind you and come for warrior 3. Kick back. Reach back through the leg, Yes, fantastic. Next exhale, hands come down to the floor. Bend your front knee, step your left foot back, step your right foot back, and make your way back to downward facing dog. You can stay here hanging out. You can cycle through an up dog or cobra, and then we're going to try all that on the other side. And you just notice what it feels like. How's the breath? How is it to hop forward just on one foot? A lot of times we know the component parts of things, but yet when they come up in new and unexpected combinations, it can sometimes throw us for a loop. It's kind of like life. We have all the component pieces. We just have to trust that we do. All right, let's go ahead and try the other side. Inhale here. As you exhale, bend the knees and hop forward on the left foot. Fantastic. From there, the left hand comes to the left. You root down through the left hand. You kick back through the right foot, straightening the right leg. Then stack the right hip on top of the left. And you'll slowly start to open the right arm up towards the right. Yep. And then lift through that inner, there you go, Sandy, right leg, push down through the left foot. Nice, Barbara. Nice, Jenny. Nice, Robin. Yep. And then maybe you'll reach the right arm up towards the sky, maybe not. Fantastic. As you're ready, you'll inhale and draw the gaze back down to the floor. Draw the right hand to the floor, maybe both hands to blocks. Kick back through that right leg, reach forward through the crown. Find yourself in this modified warrior 3 for a moment. Nice job. Now, as you're ready, you are going to transition to one-legged Tadasana. So you'll bend that right knee, you'll round through the spine, you'll reach up through both arms, you'll root down through that left foot. Yep, and wobbles are okay. Fantastic, 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 fantastic. Yeah, wobbles are okay. You got this. Yep. And then as you're ready, you're going to transition into warrior 3 variation. So you'll kick that right foot back. You'll reach your heart and sternum forward. You might reach the arms back or keep pushing your sternum into your thumbs into your sternum, and then just breathe there. Yes. Yep. You guys got it. You got it. Fantastic. Next exhale, hands come to the floor or blocks. Go ahead and bend the left knee. Step the right foot long and back, low lunge. Step the left foot back, downward facing dog. Feel free to stay there or cycle through up dog or cobra, your choice. Your choice. And then you just pause and you breathe and you notice what you notice. How does that feel? Nice work. Okay. From down dog, let's go ahead and inhale, take a big breath in. As you exhale, bend the knees, empty the belly, hop both feet forward. Yeah. Nice job, guys. Once you find yourself there, you might put that block right between your shin bones or not. It's totally up to you. Fantastic. And then from there, inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, fold in. Inhale, bend the knees, sit the butt low, Utkatasana, chair pose. Now in this chair pose, we've got choices. Some of you might reach your arms back and just have your palms facing each other, hugging the shoulder blades in and being there. Some of you might interlace the hands, the webbing, and then draw both knuckles or one knuckle back as you reach forward. Some of you will reach your arms up and overhead, but we're going to sit and breathe for 3 breaths. And you just notice what it feels like for you. Fantastic. And since it looks like all of us have our arms back, we will go ahead and do this. I want you to squeeze your block. Inhale, straighten your leg, and then lift up. Some of you will then release your hands to the back of your tailbone. Draw your tailbone down, back of your sacrum, lift your heart up, and take a little standing back bend here. If your arms are still interlaced, you can still do all that. It just feels more comfortable to have hands on the sacrum. Awesome. And then you'll gently release, coming up, lengthening the tailbone down, releasing the hands. And then go ahead and wiggle in whatever way feels good to you. It might feel better if you move the block, if you're wiggling, but you can wiggle with the block. You'll just wiggle. Okay. Fantastic. Well, let's go ahead and come to stillness. If you still have that block, please remove that block. Go ahead and shift all of your weight over into your right foot. And then go ahead and lift your left knee. up. Hug your left knee. Oh, this doesn't reverse it. That's interesting. Okay. Well, whatever. You stay with your left knee. I don't know what's going on with the camera, but I just noticed I look different than you guys do. And then let's bend our left knee now behind us. Grab your left foot with one end or both hands. And you're just going to take a little quad stretch. Quad stretch. Yep. And then you'll gently release that. And then we'll try it on the other side. So the right knee comes forward. You first can hug the knee towards your chest. And then you'll release that. And then you'll hug the right heel towards your pelvis, hugging it with one end or both hands. Fantastic. And we're going to release that. If you're not facing the top of your space, turn to face the top of your space. Once again, make sure both blocks are towards the highest setting at the top part of your space. And then you're going to shift all the weight to your right leg. Bring your hands to heart center and lift your left leg. Flex through the left foot, push down through the right foot. Start to bend your right knee, cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh and start to hinge forward at your hips. Your elbows might touch that inner left ankle, inner left knee. The hands might come down to the floor beneath you. But we're trying to find a stretch in our outer left hip. So whatever you need to do to make that happen for you, you do that. Sometimes it helps to bend the supporting leg, so that's your right leg. Sometimes it helps to push the top leg, the gesturing leg, the left leg, into the back of your left arm, and it gives you just a little bit more feedback in your outer left hip. Sometimes it helps to really flex through that left foot, that's the top foot, and push it into your inner right arm, that's the opposite arm. You just notice what it takes for you to find a nice opening sensation on your outer left hip. Fantastic. Are you breathing? And then when you're ready, you'll bend through the right knee. You'll release the hands back to heart center. You'll come up to one-legged Tadasana, left leg floating. And then exhale, release left foot down. Again, wiggle it out. And then we're going to try the other side. Good. When you feel ready to try the other side, you'll come to stillness. You'll shift the weight into your left leg. Hands will come back to heart center. Float your right leg up, flexing through the right foot, and start to bend into your left knee. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh, hinging forward at your hips, drawing your elbows towards the inside edge of that right ankle, right knee. Hands might come to the block or floor beneath you. And then again, fidget to find a nice, fun outer hip sensation on the outer right hip. So again, you might press the right knee shin into the back of the right arm. You might flex through the right foot and press it into your left arm. You might lift and lower your right knee. You might bend your left knee. That's the supporting knee. And you just pause and you breathe and you find some fun, interesting stuff for you. Noticing that all these component parts are the necessary parts. Fantastic. All right, let's start to come out of this. So you'll inhale and return your hands to heart center, coming to that figure 4 seat. And then push down through the left leg, reach up through the right, one-legged Tadasana. Lower the right leg down, shimmy, wiggle around in any way that feels good to you. Yep, okay. And then let's go ahead and move on. Go ahead and inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward at your hips, Uttanasana, forward fold. This is our last one. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, bend your knees, plant your palms, step or float back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale through your up dog or cobra, and exhale back through downward facing dog. And you just notice. We did a lot of things playing on the Surya Namaskar variation A and B, and just how does it feel now? Yeah, fantastic. Let's go ahead and inhale and lower our knees to the mat. And then once you lower your knees, sit your butt down, and we're going to swivel our pelvis to the floor. So however you need to bring your pelvis to the floor. Make sure you've got both blocks nearby, and this is the point that we'll need our blanket. So I do encourage you to start with your blanket. This is already folded in quarters, and then you're going to fold it one more time so it's now on eighths. And then you'll sit on your blanket facing the long edge of your mat. Fantastic. And then from here, let's go ahead and open our right leg out to the right. And draw the left heel close to your perineum. And if you need to, sometimes it helps to remove the flesh from the back. Firstly, if that doesn't work, you can put the strap behind the back of your left knee, and that might feel better for you. But we're just going to then take both of our blocks in front of us, and you are just going to hinge forward at your hips, maybe lowering your forearms down to your blocks and feeling a nice stretch on the inside edge of your right leg, the back of your right leg. If it feels like taking the blocks away helps you, great, do that. And then some of you may find that you want your forearms and elbows on the floor and put your forehead on a block. And you can choose to do that as well, but you're just noticing what it feels like to breathe here, to feel this shape. Nice job. All right. As you're ready, we're gently going to come out of this shape and we're going to try it on the other side. So you'll come back up to vertical. You'll extend your left leg. You'll bend your right leg. Remove any flesh from the back of your right knee if you need to. Sit up nice and tall. And then start to hinge forward at your hips coming forward. And you're looking for a sensation on the inside edge of your long leg. Oh, I like that, Sandy. That's very clever. Gives you leverage. And then you'll just pause and you'll breathe here. Really active through the straight leg. Noticing what you're feeling on the inside edge and the back of that straight leg. And notice if there's anything happening in your right knee or bent. Fantastic. 2 more breath cycles here. And then very gently, you'll start to come back out of this shape, coming back up to vertical. And then from here, go ahead and extend both legs out and open. Fantastic. And before you go anywhere, pull the kneecaps up, pull the toes towards the kneecaps, sit as tall as you can, and then you'll start to hinge forward at your hips. And if you're hypermobile, you might come off that blanket at this point. And then you might notice, do you go a little further than you did when one knee was bent? And then you just pause and you breathe here for a few breaths and you notice what this feels like. Sandy, while you're doing that, can you pull your heart forward? Does that feel different in your low back? Now you can still hold on to your strap, but more like you're riding a horse or something. Or a motorcycle, that'd be hilarious. And then we'll gently start to come out of this shape. Yeah, just like that. It arched your spine. And then we'll gently come out of this. Bring your hands to the backs of your legs and close your knees together like a book. And then you're going to turn to face the back of your space. So turn to face the back of your mat. Make sure you have both blocks somewhere to your side. And then you're going to slowly roll all the way down onto your backs. Slowly roll all the way down onto your backs. Be careful of that block. Fantastic. And then once you find yourself on your back, go ahead and bend your knees, plant your feet firmly on the floor. Walk your feet outside of your hips, let your knees knock in, and then wrap your arms around the torso for just a moment. Really feeling the weight of the arms on the chest, really feeling the weight of the knees into each other, really feeling the weight of the back of the pelvis, the back of the sacrum. And then just take 3 breaths. You can let these be audible breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can let them be more quiet breaths, but you just notice. On your next in breath, you'll open the arms, and then you'll exhale and switch whichever arm is on top. Okay. Now, if there's any part of you longing to stay here just because you've been noticing low back stuff, by all means, you can hang out here. The rest of us are going to move on to a series of bridges. But if this is not going to work for you today, that's fine. You just stay here. If you would like to move on to bridges, you will open your arms. You will walk your feet so they're hip distance apart. You might grab one of those blocks and slide it between your inner upper thighs. From there, bring your hands alongside your hips. Walk the shoulder blades underneath you. And then start to push down into the backs of the arms, push down into the feet, push down into your skull, lift your hips high. Once your hips are as high as they wish to be, you might walk the shoulder blades underneath you even more. You might grab the outer edges of your mat or interlace the hands underneath you. And then I want you to see if you can really lift the sternum up. And then really notice what that needs to do to your chin. So the back of the skull presses straight into the floor. So there's space between your chin and your chest. You hug that block. You press down into the feet. And then notice that you can lift the outer hips up, which then allows the tailbone to lengthen more towards the knees. And you've just got about 3 breath cycles here. And you notice what this feels like, pressing the outer shoulder blades down into the mat. At the end of your 3rd exhalation, gently release the hands, untuck the shoulders, bring the pelvis back down to the floor and pause. Fantastic. Some of you will choose to do that variation again. Some of you will choose to plant a block underneath your sacrum and take a supported bridge. Some of you, if you think you have it in you, you might try a wheel. It's your choice for back bend. So either an active bridge, a supported bridge, or maybe Urdhva Dhanurasana. But you're just going to take a few moments to breathe. Whichever shape you're choosing, you take a few moments to breathe. And after you've taken 3 breath cycles, you'll gently release and come out. Hey, Steve. Hey, Sandy. And then 3rd time's the charm. You'll do one more back bend of your choice. So those that maybe worked for the wheel, I noticed that I hadn't been doing them for a while. So when I went back for them, I had to do 2 before it felt better. So you might try it again. You might be like, yeah, I'm done. You might do another bridge. You might do a supported bridge. You listen to whatever feels best to you. And you've got about 3 or 4 breath cycles in your shape. And then as you're ready, you'll gently come down. We'll all meet flat on our back, so no pulling knees to chest or doing anything just yet. Just let your body be still. If you still have that strap somewhere near the top of your space, which if you turned around would now be near your head, go ahead and grab your strap. Draw your right knee into your chest, the strap around the ball of your right foot. And then go ahead and send your right foot up towards the sky. And your choice, that left leg can be bent or that left leg can be straight. We're just trying to counteract some of the back bend. So you're really pulling down with both ends of the strap, one in each hand. You're really pressing up through the heel and the big toe mound of your right foot. You're noticing if you can draw your shoulders away from your ears. And then if the opposite leg is straight, you're reaching out through that foot as much as you're reaching up through your right foot. You're pushing down into the left thigh and calf as much as you're reaching the right thigh and calf away from you. And then you just have a few moments to breathe here. Is there tension around your chest and your face and your throat? Is there tension in your arms and your shoulders? Is there tension in your belly? See where you can soften and let things just relax. We've got about 4 more breath cycles here, and we're just trying to do a 90-degree angle. So this isn't our like best be all hamstring stretch. It's just enough to let the thigh bone root into the pelvis. Fantastic. We'll gently draw both ends of the strap into your left hand. Draw your right thumb to your right hip crease. Press your right hip away from you and cross the right leg a few inches over to the left. And you'll just be here for a few breath cycles, finding that crazy ITB band stretch. So Sandy, bring the strap into the left hand, right there you go. And then push your right hip away from you as you reach out through the right heel. Nice, Barbara. Nice modification, Robin. Robin, push out through your big toe mound for me just a little bit more. There, yeah. Okay. Nice, Jenny. Nice, Steve. And then as you're ready, you'll inhale, come up through center. Exhale, bend the knee, draw the knee into the chest, release the strap. Then extend the right leg to meet the left and just notice what it feels like to have both legs long on the floor for a moment. How do they feel in comparison to one another? And then as you're ready, we'll try this on the other side. To start this time, let's all bend both knees and plant our feet on the floor. And then draw your left knee into your chest, draw the strap around the ball of the left foot, and send the left foot up to the sky. Find that 90-degree angle in the hip first, flexing through the left foot, shoulders down the back. Yep, and then if you'd like, go ahead and extend the right leg long. But then we'll just pause here and we'll breathe here. And if the right leg is long, really flex through the right foot, push down through the right heel, the right calf, the right hamstring. And as you're holding that strap with both hands or the back of your thigh, notice if you can soften any tension with the shoulders or in the shoulders. Soften any tension in the throat, the jaw, the tongue, the face. Yeah. And you'll just breathe here for a few moments. And then we'll move on. So you'll draw both ends of the strap into your right hand. You'll draw your left thumb into your left hip crease. Press your left hip away from your left shoulder and then cross the left leg a few inches over to the right. And you really want to reach out through that left heel, the left big toe mound, just to find some fun stuff happening on your IT band. And for Robin, with this variation, I'm curious what would happen if you brought your right hand to the top of your left thigh. So right hand to the top of your left thigh, so it would cross your body. There we go. And then bring your left hand to your left hip. So you could still do the same thing, but now you're just pushing your left hand into your left thigh. Sorry, right hand in your left thigh into your left hand. You feel that on your outer left hip? Maybe. Okay. Let's go ahead and inhale and come back up through center. And then as you exhale, bend the knee, hug the knee into the chest. Go ahead and remove the strap. And then extend that left leg long to meet the right. From here, let's bend both of our knees and plant the feet firmly on the floor. Arms open out into a T shape. And then you can choose how you wish to do this, but you're going to do some twists here. So you might just let the knees fall over to one side. You might cross the legs and let them fall over to one side. You might stack both knees or keep one leg straight and the top leg bent. But you just go for whatever feels best for you. And you'll take about 4 to 5 breaths in that supine twist. And if you choose something and you're like, yeah, that's not quite cutting it, you have permission to change your mind and change your shape. And then notice what you need to modify in the shape so you feel comfortable. It's funny, I feel like as a person, I spend a lot of time thinking that if I can pick up all the right things, I can do everything right. But I don't think that that's kind of how life works. I think you just kind of get things piecemeal and you fit them together to suit you and suit the situations and the relationships that you find yourselves in. And sometimes that requires adjustment and then readjustment. And so you've got your last 2 breath cycles here. And then as you're ready, you'll inhale and come back up through center. And I do encourage you to pause and center for a moment in stillness and neutral, just to see what you experience between the sides in terms of sensations and awareness. And then when you're ready, you'll try it to the other side. And you might take the same twist to the opposite side. You might do something different, but remember, you can choose, you can modify, you can adjust. Everything you pick up piecemeal teaches you just a little bit more about yourself and the person that you wish to be in this world. And so then that gives you the capacity, the power, the opportunity to choose again, to change, to adjust, to modify. And so you've got a few more breath cycles here. So if you need to change what you're doing just slightly, by all means, go ahead and do that. Fantastic. And then as you're ready, we'll inhale and come back up through center. Go ahead and plant your feet firmly on the floor. Feet are hip distance apart, pelvis in line with shoulders. Now, from here, some of you will draw the knees into the chest and you'll rock and roll a little bit right to left. Some of you will stay with that. Some of you will slide your hands through the inner edges of your thighs to grab the outer edges of your feet and either take happy baby or supta baddha konasana, but you just pay attention. And then you choose, and then you choose again. And then you choose again. I think that's one of the things that sometimes, at least I can forget, is that as long as I'm breathing, I have the power to choose and choose again. Getting older doesn't mean I have to be stuck in doing one thing or another, in one role or another, one way of being or another. And so as you're in your body and in your breath, I want you to start to wind the body down. So if there's anything else that you feel like you'd like to explore or experience in this moment or need, I encourage you to take the next 2 minutes to do that. And then once you feel complete, we are going to meet in our final resting pose. And maybe for today, that's straight up Shavasana. Maybe it's Supta Baddha Konasana supported by blocks, or maybe it's legs up the wall. But you choose based upon what you're experiencing in this moment. And notice you might want to cover the body, might want to pet your loved furry friend over there. He's a good dog, Steve. Yep. And then you'll find yourself settled in your shape. And the first thing I want you to do when you find yourself in your final shape is I want you to take a series of really big breaths. So, an inhale through the nose and an audible exhalation from the mouth. And you'll do that 2 more times. And as you settle into the shape, notice where you might take more breaths into the body. So that might feel like you just release more tension. It might mean that you release more weight. It might mean that you keep staying with this breath, but you're just allowing yourself to really experience in this moment that you have the ability to notice, to witness, to observe. And when you have that capacity, it gives you the ability to choose. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you here with yourself for the next few moments. The invitation is to continue to come back whenever the mind wanders to thoughts or worries to the body. So keep coming back to the body. Keep coming back to the breath, letting yourself notice where you can soften, letting yourself notice where you can choose again. You be with you, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Return your awareness to your breath. As you come back to your breath, just take a moment to check in. If there's any part of you longing to linger in this shape, by all means, please stay here. When movement does start to call you, invite it to enter the body in a gentle, kind, soft way. Those in stillness, stay as long as you'd like. Those in movement, will slowly make your way to one of your sides where you'll pause for a few breaths. From your side, you'll gently roll your chest forward towards the floor. Use your top hand, start to press your spine up to vertical. And then when you are vertical, take the opportunity to set your bum up on a block or a blanket. When you are comfortable in your seat, we're going to end with 3 rounds of Nadi Shodhana like we often do. So you'll take your left palm and tuck your left index finger into the base of your left thumb. The left palm can face up or the left palm can face down. You'll then bring your right palm in front of you. You might tuck the middle and the index finger down, draw the right thumb to the outside edge of the right nostril, the ring finger, pinky finger to the outside edge of the left nostril, and then reposition that right arm if you need to. Gently exhale all the breath from your mouth. When you need to, close the right nostril and inhale through your left. Top of your inhalation, close your left and exhale out through your right. When you need to, draw the breath in through your right. Top of your inhalation, close the right and exhale out through the left. That counts as 1 round. Go ahead and repeat 2 more on your own. Noticing how slow and smooth and deep you can make your breath. Noticing how soft and easy you can make the breath. After you've taken your 3 rounds, so 3rd exhalation through the left nostril, you'll lower your right hand. Wherever you are in the practice, continue to sit tall, stacking your shoulders over your hips, your ears over your shoulders, and softening the front ribs down. And you'll just take a few breath cycles here. Gently draw the hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Press the palms into each other. Receive the weight of the thumbs into the sternum and lift the sternum to the thumbs. Gently exhale all the breath from your mouth. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Inhale for Om. Join if you'd like. Draw your thumbs to your third eye. May our thoughts be clear. Draw your thumbs to your mouth. May our words be kind. And draw your thumbs to your heart center. May our hearts be open. The light and the breath within me honors and salutes the light and the breath within you. Namaste.